Yeah, very good morning. Okay, so the last time we have started with the jointly distributed random variables, and we have started with the two random variables, and we have looked into the corresponding joint distribution. So if they are both are continuous, then you have the jointly distributed random variable that also continuous, and then okay. And similarly, for whenever x and y both are discrete, you can define their joint PMF by following the definition what we have mentioned in the previous lecture, and the respectively cumulative distribution function. Okay, and we are reserving this notations small f for PDF. Okay, small p for PMF, capital F for CF. Okay, so whether you are going to refer with the jointly here x and y, so we are showing the dependence on this x comma y here and making it function of two variables. Okay, so follow the previous lecture, so we were added starting with this following question that the joint PDF of x and y is given by this, and you are supposed to find the following three things. Okay, right. So if I go with the first part, so I am interested in finding probability of x greater than 1 and y less than 1, the joint probability. So that's going to be, if you write in the form of interval, this x belongs to 1 comma infinity and y belongs to minus infinity comma 1. Okay, now this is equal to probability of, if you want to write in the x comma y belongs to 1 comma infinity cross minus infinity comma 1. This Cartesian product. Okay, and this is your set B, and so that this probability is going to be double integral B fx comma y x comma y dy dx dy. Okay, so now if you have x first, then you put the x limit first and y second, then you have the second limit. So I'm just following the same order. So fx comma y of x comma y, let's take for dx and then dy. So for dx the limit is 1 to infinity, and for dy the limit is minus infinity to 1. Now you fix the definition of this fxy, which is given here. So it is only for, means like it will be 0 whenever any one of them is negative. Okay, so surely you have, this is minus infinity to 0, break out this interval minus infinity to 0 and 0 to 1, you can break out. Okay, so certainly this is equals to integration 0 to 1 integration 1 to infinity fxy of x comma y dx dy. Now apply the definition here, because minus infinity to 0 is 0. Okay, now apply the definition that fx of y is equals to 2 times e to the power minus x times something. Okay, so that's equals to 2 times integration 0 to 1 integration 1 to infinity, and you have, this is e to the power minus x into e to the power minus 2 pi into e power minus 2 pi dx dy. Okay, so you can certainly integrate now, okay, with respect to x and then with respect to y, and you look at this, one of the limit is infinite limit. Okay, so this is a type of improper integral. Okay, however, if you look at integrand carefully, when x tends to infinity, this tends to 0, and it remains bounded over the entire interval. So this is interval, this integral is equals to, now both are the constant limit as well, and this is function of x into function of y. Okay, so I can certainly write it as 2 time integration 0 to 1 e to the power minus 2y dy into integration 1 to infinity e to the power minus x dx. I can certainly write in this form because the limits are constant limits. Okay, though it's a very large number, it's a constant, fixed constant, you can say. Okay, now you can find out this integral separately, you can find out this integral separately. So this is an improper integral. So you certainly have to go for it. A tends to infinity, integration 1 to a e to the power minus x dx. Okay, so this will be limit a tends to infinity. So e to minus x integration minus e to the power minus x, and have 1 to a, and you put upper limit minus lower limit. So then it will be, I'm just adjusting this minus sign here. So that's going to be 1 minus e to the power minus a. So this value is going towards 1 as a tends to infinity, e to the power minus a tends to 0. So this is equals to 1. So this integral value is 1. Okay, now another value here is this value, for this case, e to the power minus 2y divided by minus 2, 0 to 1. Okay, so this 2 will get cancelled here. Okay, and what will be here is 1 minus e to the power minus 2. So so this certainly 2 will get cancelled. You have 1 minus e to the power minus 2 into 1. So this is your final answer for the first case. Probability of x greater than 1 and y less than 1. Okay. Now let's look at the second part. What is that second part is, we are interested in finding probability of x less than y, x less than capital Y. How will you distinguish here all possible x and y such that x is less than y, or x by y is less than 1? Okay, so this is a continuous function. These are continuous random variables. Okay, so we are interested in now finding probability of x less than y. Okay, so this is the case if in the plane, if you look at in the plane. Okay, so the line y equals to x, and you are looking at the values where x is less than y. Okay, so which part is this is, and you know that x values are 0 to infinity and y values are 0 to infinity. Okay, so what you are looking for is going to be, this is the set x comma y such that x is less than y. Okay, all pairs you are looking for wherever x comma y such that x is less than y. That is how you will interpret this, and that's going to be, if I want to write it in the form of that x comma y such that x is less than y. All pairs you are going to take it in the this double integral over this set. You are going to take double integral. Okay, of fx comma y of x comma y. Okay, right. So what are the limits for x and y here? So that's now it's not both the limits are not going to be the constant. Okay, so I just want to, I can leave it for you because already I've dealt with the integral calculus in your which maybe first year course as well. Okay, so you can certainly find out this double integral equals to integration 0 to infinity. If I'm interested in finding first with respect to x and then with respect to y. Okay, so x is running from 0 to y and y is running from x is running from 0 to y and y is running from 0 to infinity. So 2 times e to the power minus x into e power minus 2y dx dy. So x equals to 0 and it is going towards x equals to y. Okay, right. So x less than y. So this is going to be, you can find out this integral now. Okay, this now not if these both of the limits are not the constant limits, so you can't write in the product that we have written earlier. Okay, that is not possible. Okay, now what you have to do is you have to integrate with respect to x and then with respect to y. Okay, so that think this is going to be, let's say it is 0 to infinity 2 times, and you are integrating with respect to x, so e power minus 2y is a function of y, that's certainly out. And e power minus x integration is minus times e power minus x and upper limit minus lower limit. So I hope you can certainly verify that this is going to be this. So this is equals to 2 times integration 0 to infinity e to the power minus 2y minus e to the power minus 3y dy. Okay, so now you again, this is a type of e to the power, say improper integral again. So you are going to apply the similar definition here to evaluate this integral as well. Okay, so what you will obtain here is, it's going to be the final answer, I can tell you, that's going to be 1 by 2. Okay, so here this is going to be I think 1 by 2. Okay, and this is going to be 1 by 3. Okay, what will be in the total here is this is going to be, if you want to solve it further, let me do it. So let me integration 0 to infinity e to the power minus ay. I just want to do this. Okay, so this is going to be limit some t tends to infinity integration 0 to t e to the power minus ay dy. So what it is this is going to be 1 by a, and the limit t tends to infinity, and this is going to be e to the power minus at minus 1, and this is with minus sign here. That t tends to infinity, this tends to 0, so this is equals to 1 by a. Okay, right. So this integral value is, so now you can fix a equals to 2 and a equals to 3. So this implies probability of x less than y is equals to x less than y is equals to you have this 2 times 1 by 2 minus 1 by 3. Okay, so this is going to be 2 times, so this is 6 and this is 1 by 6, so this is going to be 1 by 3. Right, so I think this is fine, right? 2 to the power, yes. Integration 0 to y e to the power minus x is 1 minus e to the power minus. Yeah, it's correct. Okay, so final answer is here 1 by 3. Let's try to identify the third solution of the third part, which is probability of x less than a. I think that can be easily find out. So this is probability of x less than a. Okay, so certainly this is going to be so you need to identify what is the probability density function for x, then it is easy. Okay, so or you can write that probability of x less than a comma y is belongs to minus infinity to plus infinity, or y is less than infinity, you can say. Okay, so that's going to be, and x is from minus infinity to a, so this is going to be minus infinity to infinity integration minus infinity to a fx comma y x comma y dx dy. Now this will turns out from 0 to a, and here also 0 to infinity, because elsewhere this fxy is 0. Okay, right. So from the above, you can certainly identify what is the probability density function or probability cumulative distribution function for x and for y in the similar manner here. Okay, so this actually tells you what is the probability density, probability distribution function, means like CDF. It can be also obtained from here. Okay, so I think this integral you can evaluate. So now, if I'm interested in fx of a, in the same manner, you can go with this probability of x less than equals to a, and you know that in the continuous case, when you have integral, okay, so at that point, equal to point, okay, whether you include or not, it doesn't matter because of the continuity of the integral. So x less than equals to a, so that's equals to probability of x less than equals to a and y less than infinity. So that you can certainly find out minus infinity to plus infinity integration minus infinity to a x comma y of x comma y dx dy. So that's going to be integration 0 to infinity, integration 0 to a, and I can write this definition as 2 times e to the power minus x e to the power minus 2y dx and dy. Now both of the limits are constant limits. You can evaluate in the same manner as you have done previously. Okay, so this is going to be 2 times integration 0 to infinity e to the power minus 2y dy into integration 0 to a e to the power minus x dx. Okay, right. So now this is equals to 2 times. So this integral you can evaluate, that's going to be 1 minus e to the power minus a. And this integral value is 1 by 2 by looking at the previous one. So that's going to be 1 minus e to the power minus. Okay, so similarly you can go for finding the CDF for random variable y as well. Okay, right. So now, as we have already seen in the probability case, when we are talking about the axiomatic approach, we have also defined the concept independence of two events. Okay, so when we say two events are independent, then when you have probability of A and B is equals to probability of A into probability of B. Okay, so similarly we can extend this concept to independence of the random variables. Okay, and defining in terms of the density function, distribution function, and probability mass functions respectively. Cases means like whether they are discrete, jointly discrete, or jointly continuous. Okay, right. So we are going to address the independence of the random. Okay, right. Now, so we say that the random variables x and y. So we have two random variables. So all these stuff what we have so far defined, those can be extended to any finitely many random variables. Okay, so instead of 2, you can now talk about 3 random variables, 4 random variables, 5, and so on. Not only that, you can also talk about their linear combination or product or division as well. Okay, right. So that we are also going in some of them we are also looking. Okay, so we say that those two random variables x and y are independent if the probability of x belongs to A and y belongs to B. So this is whenever you are going with comma, means they are and sitting with and, not for or. Okay, probability of x belongs to A and y belongs to B is equals to probability of x belongs to A into probability of y belongs to B. What does it mean? Means if knowing the value of one does not change the distribution of the other. Okay, So then we say that x and y are independent. Okay, so here knowing that what is the distribution or what is the value of y, whatever of I, it does not change the distribution of the x. Okay, so it's same as probability of x belongs to A into comma y belongs to B is same as probability of x belongs to A into probability of y belongs to B. So for any subset of R, A and B are any subset of real numbers. Now this you can extend it to for joint CDF, in terms of joint CDF, in terms of joint PDF, in terms of joint PMF. Okay, so in terms of joint CDF, so let's say x and so we say that are independent if, so you have C, it is fx comma y, x comma y. If you look at the definition, what is that? Probability of x less than equals to x comma y less than equals to y. So now this is the x belongs to, if you recall, minus infinity to x close, and here this is the set minus infinity to y closed, because equality is here. Okay, so this is, if you look at back, these two things are equivalent now. Okay, so probability of the x and y are independent if the probability of x belongs to minus infinity to x and y to y is equals to product of their individual cases. Okay, so this is what probability of x belongs to minus infinity to x, and this is probability of y belongs to minus infinity to y close. So both are the distribution, individual distribution functions of x and y respectively. So in case whenever means like you know the joint distribution. Okay, if you know the joint distribution function, if you found that it can be a product of individual distributions, then you can certainly say that x and y are independent. Okay, so now similarly you can define for joint PMF. So probability mass function, if you look at the definition, that is nothing but probability of x, so px comma y of xi comma yj. So I is this some index set, and there is also index set. Okay, this xi and yj are respective values of x and y from the range space. So probability of x equals to xi comma y equals to yj means that is and here. Okay, so this is a means if x and y are independent, so then probability of x to probability of y equals to yj because of the independence of the x and y random variable. So, but they are nothing but the individual probabilities at xi and the probability of yj. So the probability mass function, if you see that if you are looking at PMF, if you are able to find that probability joint PMF can be written as product of individual PMF at the same values. Okay, that should true for every, okay, for every value of x and for every value of y, both. Okay, that should true for not only particular values, it should true for all value from x and all value for y. Then you can certainly say that x and y are independent. Okay, similarly you can write that in terms of PDF. So I'm not explaining anything here, so it's very straightforward. Okay, so fx comma y, if you are able to write that, is going to be fx of x into fy of y, the product of individual densities. Okay, shows, it says then we say that is these are independent random variables. Okay, right. Okay, so let's take this problem. So let x and y be random variables, so that they are given that to be given us like independent random variables. Okay, and that shares the density function as this. So that shares this common density function fx of x equals or minus x if x is greater than 0 and 0 otherwise. Then it is asking me to find out what is the PDF x divided by y. It's not x given y, it is I'm just writing it x by y. Okay, now before starting, okay, first we need to check that whether this set is well defined. Okay, So this set is well defined because both the density functions are both are the range set which does not include 0. So the denominator should not vanish, right? So then only this rational term will be well defined. Otherwise, the set will not be defined at all. So you need to make sure that 0 should not be taken place, or means 0 value should not be there for y. Y should not be equals to 0 in the denominator. X could be 0. That's not a problem. Problem is when y is 0. Okay. So we are interested in finding the PDF of x by y. Okay, right. So let's find out. Okay, so we are interested in the PDF of x by y. Okay, so we know the relation between the CDF and PDF for continuous random variables. So we are going to use that. So whenever we have been asked such type of question, find the PDF of x by y or x plus y or x square plus y square and so on, some function of x comma y, then we certainly first look at the distribution function and then it at the end. Know that first derivative, the distribution function derivative is equals to the density function for continuous random variable. So that use that fact. So we are interested in finding the density function for x by y. So therefore we are going to look at for fx by y of some a. So whenever a is less than 0, okay, I no need to worry about it. Okay, I can certainly say that is 0. So I'm only working with the a greater than 0. Okay, I'm only working with the a is greater than 0, strictly greater than 0. Okay, right. Because none of the values are taking x by y never be 0, because neither x is 0 nor y is taking 0. So in the set, in the range, means in this set is 0 is not going to be assumed by this rational entity. Okay, quantity. So a is we are taking with a is this is going to be 0 if you have this is a is less than 0 or less than equals to 0. That's certainly sure. Okay, we are not worry about this. Now, so for the case for 0 less than a, for a greater than 0. Okay, so for a greater than 0, let me write in this. We are looking for this now. So fx by y of a is defined as, probability of x by y less than equals to a. So since y is a non-negative entity, okay, also it is non-negative, so this is also equivalent to the following: x less than equals to ay. Now this is the same as like we have already dealt with this type of problem where we have done with the x less than y. So similarly we can go with this now, double integral of x comma y such that x is less than equals to ay, fx comma y of x comma y dx dy. So again, you can draw the line x equals to ay in the plane, and you are looking only the values x less than equals to ay. So this is going to be some integration. You have x values from 0 to ay, because they are only taking the positive values. They are non-negative values. So this is going to be 0 to infinity, and fx of y, fx comma y. So what is the joint density function? Is because they are independent. Okay, so they are independent means fxy into, so I can write fx of x into fy of y, because they are independent random variable. So first limit is for dx and then second limit for dy. Okay, right. Now, so I will use the definition now. So this is fx of a is equals to integration 0 to infinity, integration 0 to ay time fx of x is e to the power minus x and fy of y is e to the power minus y dx dy. Okay, right. So now this is going to be integration 0 to infinity. Now since we are integrating with respect to x, so e to the power minus y is outside and integration is minus e to the power minus x and put upper limit minus lower limit. So 1 minus e to the power minus a y time dy. So this is equals to integration 0 to infinity e to the power minus y minus e to the power minus e to the power minus 1 plus a by dy. Now we have already evaluated these type of integrals. Okay, so I don't want to repeat it, but you have to write all the steps when you are writing the notes. Okay, so e to the power minus y integration is 1 with 0 to infinity, and this integration is minus 1 upon 1 plus a. So minus is because minus is there, and this integration is 1 upon 1 plus. So this implies, so this is fx by y. So this is what is the density function is fx by y of a is nothing but fx by y dash of a for a greater than 0. So that derivative is 1 upon 1 plus a whole square. So whenever 0 less than a less than infinity. Okay, right. So whenever a, otherwise it will be 0. Okay, otherwise it is 0. So this is how you will find the density function for x by y. It is given that x and y are independent in this case. Okay, right. Okay, so now we are now going to define the expectation of random variable. Okay, what do you mean by it? Means suppose we are continuously doing some experiment. Okay, some number of time repetitions are there. What is the expected value at that time? Can you tell about that? I mean, like suppose after 1,000 or after million experiments. So that gives us the motivation to define the expectation of a random variable. Okay. And it also related with the expectation is means certainly means like for example you are looking is in other words it is if you want to know the statistical meaning is it also known as some like you have been given with a data. What is the sample mean of that total number? So you sum up all the data and you are assume that all of them are equally likely. Okay, so means your total number of 1 divided by n. Suppose n number of data is there. So you sum up all the values and divide it by n. That will give you the average. Okay, average of it. Okay, so this is also one of the motivations. So let's first define what is the definition. We will also see some of the examples for motivation point of view. Right. So let x be a discrete random variable that assumes the value. So when I put them dot dot dot, so it may be a finite set or it may be a countably infinite set. Already I mentioned what is the meaning of countably infinite set. Okay. So then the expected value of x is the weighted average of the values of x. So the expected value is nothing but the sum of the weighted average value of the x. Okay, so you have assigned the weights to the assumed values, and in the case of discrete we are taking the sum of them. So this is how we are doing you are defining the expectation of random variable in case of discrete. Okay, so in case of continuous case, it's a natural generalization now, because when you look at, I already have mentioned somewhere previous lectures that fx of x if you look at the individual density function, okay, so near means like in a small with a small dx can be look at like a probability in the interval x less than x plus dx. So these are the assigned probabilities which is given by fx of x dx, and if you integrate throughout that, that will give you the total sum is going to be equals to 1, you know that. Okay, integration from minus infinity to plus infinity. Okay, right. So now, so the values assumed by capital X is X in some interval. So let's arbitrarily X. So if you multiply it by X here and then take the integration, so you are weighted. So weight each value of X that is given by X and weight it by the probability. Its probability less than X plus dx, which is nothing but fx of x times dx, and then you will see that you sum up all that. So in the continuous case, sum up means the integration, limiting. Okay, so it's natural to define their expectation of, in the case of continuous random variable, as integration of minus infinity to infinity x times fx of x dx. So we will come up with that also. Okay, right. So let's take one example. Let's take random variable x, okay, which takes the values from the set 0 and 1. And let's say its PMF is, they both are equally likely. Let's say Px of 1 is 1 by 2. So what is the expected value of x is, what we have done is the value of x is 0 and it is weighted with its assigned probability 1 by 2 plus the next value is 1 and its assigned with the weighted value is 1 by 2. Its assigned probability is 1 by 2. So total sum is going to be 1 by 2, and which is nothing but the average of this value 0 and 1. So this is not only restricted with this. You can take x value from, I mean, it's like x from the set A and B, two values A and B, and let's say Px of A is 1 by 2 and Px of B is also 1 by 2. That expectation of x is nothing but A plus B by 2, the average of these two numbers, when both of the numbers are taken to be equally likely. But if you perturb this equally likely case, means if you are saying that they are not equally likely, let's say, means it has some other probability, means maybe less probability than B. So we have them, so that expectation value will be changing here. Average value will change. So in case, let's take this one example. Let's say next example is, let's say x belongs to the set, let's say same set 0 and 1. And let's the probability of 0 is 1 by 4 and the probability of 1 is 3 by 4. So they are not equally likely case now. So what will be the weighted average? 0 into 1 by 4, 0 with its probability plus 1 into its probability is 3 by 4. So that's going to be 3 by 4. Okay, so here general question is, means like, see, x is coming out to be some number, natural number or something 0 and 1, but expectation value is something like, here is some 0.7 and 75. Okay, so this is not a number, it's not in any of the number 0 or 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. This number some rest with the fraction number. Why it is so? Because it is taking the average of it. So if you apply the means repetitions, so it is going to be turn out to be decimal only. So you cannot expect that it's going to be have so it's more likely to be, what you can say is from here is, what you can predict is more likely after 1000 experiments you are going to get 1. That's only you can tell from here. Okay, when you assign equally likely, you can't tell exactly. It's kind of oscillating. -1, 1, -1, 1, or switch off, switch on, switch off, switch on, if they are equally likely. Okay, right. So that I just wanted to mention that expected value, you cannot expect as what the values x is assumed, x or assuming, or going to assume. Okay, it may be something different. Okay, maybe some fraction number, some rational numbers. Okay, right. Now, so let's take one example here. So let a random variable x denotes the outcome when we roll a pair dice. So certain express that x belongs to the set 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, let's take this x belonging to this set. Now so it's a fair dice, it's given that, so we are assuming that all of the events are getting any outcome is equally likely. So let's say Ex of I is equals to 1/6. So we are assuming that that's going to be fair dice, it's an unbiased dice. So I'm assuming that that's going to be, they are going to be equally likely cases. So you can certainly find expectation of x. So summation of x times px of x, if you recall the definition, means you take each value of x, that first value is 1, means from the set, and its corresponding assigned probability is 1/6, plus 2 into 1/6, similarly, plus 3 into with also probability 1/6, and so on, till 6 into 1/6. What it will be? 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 divided by 6. So this is going to be 21/6. So it is going to be 7/2. So expected value is going to be something like 3.5 it is. So it may be either 3 or 4 in the long run. That's what it is predicting. Okay, right. So now, suppose sometime you may not be interested in x only. You may be interested in x square, x cube, or and so on. How do you define the expected value of those random variables? Okay, so before going there, so I can certainly tell you here itself that what do you mean by x square? Okay, x square is like a function only. X square is, so it's going to be x into x, means squared every entry. Okay, so that's going to be here I square. So it will assume some values I square. So that's going to be, the set is 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, and 36. Similarly, x cube is going to be I cube. Okay, so that's going to be 1, 8, 27, 64, 125, and this is 206, right? 216. Yeah, 216. And so on. Similarly, okay. Now, here one is, another example is there. Let's take it as well. So let you perform some random experiment, and you define an event A. Okay, and then you define some indicator, okay, which tells you if A occurs, it will show you 1. If A does not occur, it will give you value 0. Okay, so what will be the expected value for this indicator random variable? So certainly you can now, I hope you can easily find out that is going to be equals to, it will take either 0 value or 1 value, right? So 0, it will take 0 value with probability A complement, A does not occur, plus 1 into the probability of occurring of A. So the expected value of indicator value variable is going to be the the probability, what is the probability of occurring the event A. That's going to be the expected value of the indicator random variable for this. Okay, so now let X be a continuous. So as I already mentioned that we are going to we can define naturally the expected value for continuous random variable. Okay, so it is here. So let X be a continuous random variable, then the expectation of X will be defined as integration minus equal to infinity X time fx of X dx. So here I have already given you the similar note that for small dx we have this. So the weighted so for each value of X, this is the weighted probability. This is the probability for each value of X. Okay, so you X into this will give you the actual thing, what we require, the expected one. And then you take the sum up in the limiting case, that's going to be the integral. Okay, right. Okay, so now let's see for the continuous case. So let's take this problem. Suppose that you are expecting a message at some time past 5 p.m. From experience, you know that guy X. Okay, from your experience, you know your friend. Okay, how he responds. Okay, from experience, you know that X, the number of hours after 5 p.m. till the message arrives is a random variable with following PDF. So this is the PDF. I can mention here one. I can say comment here is. So you can see this is a continuous random variable we are talking about. Okay, because it assumes a value from 0 to 1.5 as 1 by 1.5. Okay, so X is, I'm just writing that U of A comma B with the probability density function as 1 upon B minus A if A less than X less than B and 0 otherwise. So I have defined a random variable. This is called uniform random variable. So you have uniformly distributed, you can say uniform random variable. So such random variable whose density function is defined as 1 upon the length of the interval. That's it. Okay, that will be called as a uniform random variable. So this remains uniform over the entire interval, that's 1 by B minus A. Okay, so here A is 0 and B is 1.5. So 1 upon 1.5 minus 0 is 1.5. Okay, so this is a uniformly distributed random variable. So that we are also going to tackle in the later case when we talk about spatial random variables. Okay, so I think that it is also good to mention here. Okay, so let's say from experience you know that X, which is nothing but the number of hours after 5 p.m. is how much delay you will see, okay, for arriving the message. Okay, is a random variable with the following period. Okay, right. Now find the expected amount of time past 5 p.m. until the message arrives. Okay, so find the expected amount of time past 5 p.m. until the message arrives. So how will you find out? So this is very simple here. So we know what is the expected value of X is going to be integration minus infinity to infinity X time fx of X dx. So that's going to be integration minus infinity to infinity. So but fx of X is 0 elsewhere, only it is non-zero in 0 minus 1.5. So mainly I'll just write it. That's going to be 0 to 1.5 X time fx of X dx. So now I can use the values. That's 1 by 1.5 integration 0 to 1.5 X dx. So that's going to be 1 upon 3 because x square by 2, so 1.5 into 2 is x square. So you have 1.5 square minus 0. Okay, so 1 point, so this is going to be equals to 2.25 minus 0, so that's going to be 0.7. So expected expected time, amount of time, 5 p.m. is, so it is a number of hours. So 0.75 number of hours, the delay will be there. Okay, right. Okay. So that we were talking about previously that how do you or how will you be able to get the expectation of x square, x cube, or and so on. So function of a random variable. So x is a random variable. X is a random variable. And I'm interested in what is the expectation of some function of random variable. So let's say g is a another function. Okay, which may be x square, maybe x cube, maybe square root of x, maybe some x to the power 2 by 3, and so on. Okay, so some function of x is there. So I am interested in the expectation of this. Okay, so I want to know how to identify this. Okay, by using the knowledge means what has been given to us. Okay, so we have been given with x random variable and its corresponding PMF. How would you able to get, whether you will be able to get the expectation of the any function of x from there or not? Okay, that we want to answer now. Okay, so before doing this, let's take one example here now. So let x be a discrete random variable that takes the following values 0, 1, 2, and you know what is the PMF of this random variable x. Now you are interested in expectation of x square and what is the expectation of x cube. Okay, right. Now, so you have been given with x which is belongs to 0, 1, 2, and also it is given that px of 0, px of 1, and px of 2. Okay, so px of 0 is 0.2, 0.5, and this is 0.3. So 0.2, 0.5, and 0.3. Okay, so if you have any question in any other this question, still it is pending, so we will take it at the end of the lecture. Okay, right. So now this is x belongs to 0, 1, 2, and these are the given. Now certainly from here you can tell that where this x square belongs to. So x square will take the value 0, 1 square that is 1, 2 square is that is 4. Okay, so what is the probability of x square equals to 0? So that's only is going to be probability of x equals to 0, because it's only possible x square is 0 when x is 0, right? So 0 square is 0. So it will be same as probability at x equals to 0, that is going to be 0.2. What is the probability that x square is equals to 1? So now see, x square can be 1. So there are two things, either x could be minus 1 or plus 1, but x cannot be minus 1 because x can only take positive value. So this only possibility is probability of x equals to 1. So that's going to be 0.5. Now, what is the probability of x equals to 4? Similarly, you can talk about that's going to be probability of x equals to 2. Why? Because x square is 4 only when x equals to 2. X equals to minus 2 will strike off because x cannot take negative value. So that's going to be 0.3. So we have the ready-made PMF here now for the next for the random variable x square. So I can certainly identify what is the expectation of x square here is 0 into, you can write px square of 0 plus 1 into px square of 1 plus 4 into px square of 4. So that's going to be, this is 0, this is 0.5, and this is going to be 4 into 0.3, that is going to be 1.2, so that's going to be 1.7. So similarly, I can talk about x cube now. Okay, so certainly I can tell that x cube belongs to the set 0, 0 cube is 0, 1 cube is 1, 2 cube is 8. And you can show that px cube of 0 is only possible when x is 0 and with probability 0.2. Similarly, px cube of 1, it's only possible when x is 1 only, right? It's not possible to be x equals to minus 1. Okay, so that's going to be 0.5. And px cube of 2, that also is px cube of 8. So x cube is 8 whenever x is 2 only. Okay, other things can be strike off because x is not taking those values. X cube, for that case, the assigned probability is probability of x equals to 2. That's going to be 0.3. So what is the expectation of x cube is going to be, this is 0, 0.5. So I'm just finding out. So this is 0 into 0.2 plus 1 into plus 8 into 0.3 is equals to, so 0.5 plus 2.4. So that's going to be 2.9. Okay, right. So what you have observed here, so if I want to see what is the observation here is expectation of x square is equals to summation of x square px of x. Isn't it? This is the same as the previous one. Okay. Similarly, expectation of x cube. We have also seen that you have just cubed the other things. The rest of the things were same. That was assigned probability. That's okay. Right. So we have observed this thing. Okay. Right. So let's see whether we have one example is or not. Yeah, one more example is there. Okay. Let's see for the continuous first. Okay, then we will define in general. Okay, the time in hours it takes to locate and repair an electrical breakdown in a certain factor is a random variable with the following period. Okay, so x is the random variable which denotes the time in hours to locate an electrical breakdown. Okay, so this is also a random variable. Okay, because you can see that's going to be 1 upon 1 minus 0. So that's a 1 only. So that's a one more. One is it's also an example of uniform random variable. So I may refer this. Okay, right. So if the cost involved in breakdown of duration x, so for x number of hours, the cost is x cube. Okay. If you are working for 1 hour, it's 1 rupees. If you are asking for working for 100 hours, it is 100 cube. Okay. So what is the expected cost of such breakdown? So I'm interested in what is the expected cost of such breakdown. Okay. Right. So how would you identify here is, see, first we will identify the distribution function. So as I already mentioned you, that when we are looking for a density function for of certain continuous random variable, first we try to identify the corresponding distribution function and then take the derivative, and then that will be as a treated as a density function. It's going to be a density function for the required random variable. Okay, so we have x follows, I just want to write u of 0 comma 1. Okay, the number of powers. Now I want to know what x cube will follow. Okay, so I certainly look for fx cube for a. Is this certainly equals to, I just want to write, this is equals to probability of x cube less than equals to a. Okay, so this is equals to 0 if a is less than equals to 0, right? Because x cube is negative. It's not possible because all x values are positives. X cube can never be negative, so x cube can never be negative and can never be 0. Okay, right? Because x is never be 0. So that's straightforward. If a is less than equals to 0, this. So now we are in now to find out x cube less than equals to a whenever if a is 0 less, if a is greater than 0. Okay, so this is equals to probability of x less than equals to a to the power 1 by 3. I can certainly say, because both of them are non-negative numbers, so I can certainly know a power a is less than equals to b, then you take square root of a is less than equals to square root of b whenever a and b are negative. Okay, right. So now this is going to be is equals to integration minus infinity to a power 1 by 3 times fx of x dx. Now fx of x is 1 whenever it lies between 0 to 1. Okay, so there are two cases. Now a to the power 1 by 3, whether it is crossing 1 or it is strictly less than 1. Okay, or it is so less than 0 is not possible. So certainly it is. So this is going to be integration 0 to a to the power 1 by 3 fx of x dx. So now if a to the power 1 by 3 is crossing 1, okay, then this integral value is 1. Okay, so we can certainly divide into two cases now from here. So what we have observed now is fx of a is equals to 0 if a is less than equals to 0. Okay, 1 if a is greater than 1, right? A is greater than 1, then a power 1 by 3 is greater than 1 to the power 1 by 3. Okay, now if 0 less than a less than 1, so a to the power 1 by 3 is less than 1. So that's going to be integration 0 to a to the power 1 by 3 time dx. So that's going to be a to the power 1 by 3. So I can just replace it by, so integral value, I can certainly replace it by a to the power 1 by 3. Okay, right. So you know, see that this is 1 minus and 1 plus, this is going to be differentiable. Okay, so what is fx at a? Or sorry, this is fx cube. Okay, so fx cube at a is equals to fx cube derivative at a whenever 0 less than a less than 1 and 0 otherwise. Okay, that's going to be 1 by 3 times a to the power minus 2 by 3 whenever 0 less than a less than 1 and 0 otherwise. And fx of cube of a is equals to 0. In other cases, means like a less than 0, less than equals to 0, and a is greater than equals to 1, you can say, or greater than 1. Okay. So you have the density function now. Okay, so now with this, you can certainly identify the expectation of this random variable. So that y is equals to x cube. Okay, so I'm interested in what is expectation of y is equals to integration of minus infinity to infinity y time fy of y dy. Okay, now this is equals to integration minus, so fy of y is 1 by 3 time y time, this is y is as it is, y to the power minus 2 by 3, and it is only become whenever in the interval is 0 to 1, elsewhere it is 0. Okay, so this is going to be 1 by 3 time integration 0 to 1 y to the power 1 by 3 dy, and if you integrate it, that is going to be 1 by 3 time 3 by 4, and this is y to the power 4 by 3, 0 to 1, so that's going to be 1 by 4. Okay, right. So this is what here the value, but the expected value of the random variable x cube is 1 by 4. Now I want you to evaluate the integral. So verify that integration minus infinity to infinity x cube of fx of x dx is also 1 by 2 for this case. Okay, for it's very simple for this particular example, for this example. Okay, so why I want you to look at the case that, look at the thing is that expectation of x cube also can be written as minus infinity to infinity x cube time fx of x dx. So if you are still not convinced, you can also check with y equals to x square. So new random variable, you create x square, and you can verify that expectation of x square can also be obtained by this. So see, this formula is easy. Rather, we are, because we are only interested in the expected value, we are not interested in finding the CDF or probability density function of this new functions. Okay, I hope you got the point here. Okay, so when it is assuming the same PMF, okay, right, it is assuming the same PMF with x cube. If you just take this here, you replace it as a function of x, that function of x, you can say. Okay, so if you replace it this here, so x cube is there, so you have x cube. If you have x square, you have multiplied by x square. If you are having x only, right, but when you are talking about x random variable, you are having x here. When you are having x square, you will have x square. When you have, if you talk about the random variable x square, you will have x square. If you have the random variable x cube, you will have the x cube here, x power 4, then x power 4, and so on. So what you can find is, or you can show that, okay, it can be shown that expectation of x to the power n, okay, is equals to integration minus infinity to infinity x to the power n time fx of x dx. You can easily show that. This is for n belongs to natural number for continuous case, and for discrete case, this is summation x belongs to x of omega, that is set x to the power n px of x. So these called, so these are also These are the mean of the random variable x to the power n. Okay, so this also known as nth moment of x. So nth moment of x about the origin, because here x minus 0 to the power n is hidden. Okay, so soon you will see what is the moment about the mean. That is we are interested more. Okay, what is the moment generating function? Okay, and so on. Okay, so this is the nth moment, or you can say moment about the origin. Okay, nth moment about the origin or nth moment of random variable x. Okay, right. So we are in now position to define when you have given when you have been given with the function. So I'm just completing it. So if you have been given with a function of a random variable x, then you can straightforward write the following formula for the discrete case. So instead of x now, so instead of x px of x, now you replace it by function of x, that's g of x. Like x cube we have replaced, x square we have replaced, and so on. So you can now you can talk about what is expectation of square root of x random variable. That is going to be summation square root of x times px of x. Obviously, it is here assume that x small x or x assumes only positive values, non-negative values. Okay, and you can extend this into the continuous case as well. So minus infinity to infinity g of x times fx of x. Okay, right. So here I'm just closing now. Okay, so if you have any query, you can write to me in email. Okay, right. Thank you.